Right. So we are back. Final topic segment for the day. Yes, we are here to mourn over that horrible excuse of a playoff series.
Who is Forbes, man?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I started asking that game too, and then it's just continued. So at this point, hey, he can shoot. Apparently, that's who he is. He a shooter.
Apparently, you know what?
He
You're
a
right. I'm sorry.
shooter.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But
Go
yeah, the Miami Heat, your well, they were your reigning Eastern Conference champions. No longer, as they just uh Milwaukee brung the brooms tonight. They brung the brooms to South Beach, of all places. The crowd was booing. Udonis has them throwing chairs. It's crazy. It's pandemonium. Yeah, the boys went out sad. Them
ahead.
boy, that boys went out sad. And I had been hearing all the, oh, you guys are a bubble team, all that, all the chit chat about that. It's gonna be different this year. Uh, and I blocked out the noise. I'm like, nah. But I'm here to say now, in hindsight, and seeing how this team performed. Because I mean, it's the same. It's pretty much the same team. Who's missing? What? We don't got Crowder no more. We don't got Olenek. Like, what's were those huge difference makers? Like, I don't. We got Ariza. I think Ariza and Crowder, like, that's kind of like comparable. Like, okay,
Switch
still,
hand hand.
yeah. Like, I mean, the issue is the stars ain't been playing like stars. The whole series they did not play like stars. Bam ain't show up. Jimmy no buckets ain't show up. Tyler zero. uh yeah, like I keep going, but I just don't understand. It's like a total different team, but it's not. So it's crazy. So the only thing that is different is the circumstances. So maybe when people said we were a bubble team, maybe that is correct. Maybe at this point I have to chalk it up to that because maybe maybe we maybe we didn't underachieve this year. Maybe we overachieved last year. Is that it? Because I just can't like wrap my head around it. We're supposed to be a defensive team. Didn't see much of that, right? Definitely wasn't no offense. Duncan and Tyler Hero last year, I'm thinking we got the next version of the Splash Brothers, right? Ain't seen it. Kendrick Nunn. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I uh, I don't want to get started on him. Since last year though, because he didn't do anything in the playoffs last year either. Regular season last year, Nunn was. I mean, he was runner up for rookie of the year.
Yeah.
I know he caught COVID or whatever last year, so I gave him that pass for last year in the bubble, right? But it's a whole nother year, and you're still playing like I don't understand. I don't understand how he's in the starting rotation over Dragic still, which makes no sense when Dragic has probably been the most consistent player this whole series.
And that's why he's my favorite.
He seems like the only person who knew this was the playoffs, who knew that these games matter. Like we're trying to do something here. He seemed to be the only person. So that's why I haven't, pretty much slandered his name. The rest of them start with Jimmy, no buckets. You supposed to be the leader. And most people will say you will know Jimmy's not, he's never been a scorer like that. Which, okay, that's I can see that. But at a certain point, when you're the star player, you wanted to come here and be the leader and lead a team like you did last year. You gotta look like Spencer's background, how you did when you did that last year. You got to put the team on your back. You're trying to facilitate too much. If the rest of the team isn't doing what they're supposed to do, you need to take it upon yourself to put the team on your back, and you failed to do that. Horrible. I don't think he got 20 points in one game this whole damn series. So and then the way they played today, bats against the wall, just horrible. We lost. I think we lost by 20 or more the last damn 3 games. Like the closest game was the first game.
Yep.
Horrible, horrible. And what's so bad about this is elimination game. Now, mind you, I was out earlier, so I wasn't watching it, live. I was checking this, checking the box score and everything like that, watching on my phone. But honestly, if I was home, I wouldn't have turned it on anyways, just because I already knew what time it was after seeing the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
There's no sense of urgency. Just, terrible, terrible. And I've been saying we underachieved, but at this point, I don't even know if I can say that. Maybe we overachieved last year. Maybe last year was, like they say, last year was a fluke. It's crazy to say that about a team that made it to the finals, but hey, go ahead, Spence. I don't have anything to say to these guys.
All I'm saying is this: 20, 20, 25, 28. Those were the Bucks' leading scorers.
Mm-hmm.
Middleton had 20. Giannis had 20. Mm-hmm. Lopez had 25. And Forbes has 28.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have? 12, 11, 20, and 18.
Mm-hmm. And you know what that equals up at the end? Brooms. That's what it equals to. It equals they scored a lot more points than we scored. We're going home. You heard I seen the highlights. So you heard the crowd booing us, booing the home team. You see the big ass, stupid ass flag I got back there? I should just rip it off the fucking wall at this point. But I am a Heat lifer, so it's not gonna change. I am upset. I am disappointed.
Very.
But I am still a Heat fan nonetheless. That is not gonna change.
Wade wouldn't let this happen.
Oh, definitely not. It's not going down like that.
Wait, not let it go out.
Maybe we would have lost. Maybe we lose in the first round, but to get swept, get embarrassed like this, not even compete. Besides the first game, like these last 3 games, they weren't close. Like it wasn't. There was no sense of they might do. There was no sense of that in any of these games.
But one thing I will say this: Pat Riley is a GM genius. So if he sees something that don't work, please believe some pieces will be moved.
Good point. I want to get into that. So all year we've come on here, when we heard there was a James Harden rumors and this and that, and I said, you know what I said? I said, no, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up Hero and Duncan and the boys to get Harden. It's not worth it to me. Boy, do I look stupid. Boy, do I change my mind. Right now, I would have took Harden. Sorry, Hero. I like you, but I don't got time for you to find some consistency. Are you the player we seen this year, or are you the guy we saw last year? I don't know. I don't got time to wait for that. Duncan Robinson. So Duncan, he's been solid pretty much for the most part this year. He didn't really do much today, but still, Duncan, Hero for Harden, some draft picks and stuff. In hindsight, I do it now. Because then I don't need Jimmy to be the focal scorer at that point. Jimmy can do what Jimmy does. Bam can do what Bam does at that point. It's different.
I just need a true center. Give me a true center. So Bam can be a power forward.
It's not even that for me. I think we, as evidence shows, we need a scorer. We don't have a scorer.
That's true.
We don't have nobody who can consistently just score the ball.
You're right.
Harden would have given you that.
He would.
So now I looked at the free agency list.
Okay.
There's only one real big name
Oh
to be a
God.
free agent this year.
Who's that?
And I don't like this guy personally for
Who's that?
obvious reason. The Claw.
Kawhi.
Now, hear me out. I don't personally like him. Obviously, he ruined the first three-peat dynasty we had in Miami.
Correct.
And made LeBron go pack his bags and leave.
Go to the West.
Yeah, you could also see that some people say he ended the Warriors dynasty too.
He did.
Neither here nor there, right? But how I'm looking at it, looking at how that series is going with the Mavericks.
Do I really want a guy that's getting killed by Luka if I see him?
Listen. The Mavericks, right? So if that series, if they get swept in they won a game, so they're not going to get swept. But if they get eliminated in the first round,
right?
I don't know how intriguing that is for him to go back and try to run it back for a third year with PG, right? So if we were able to get Kawhi, I'm open to it because it fits. He fits our mold as far as like the whole defensive thing, but he is way more of a scorer per se than what Jimmy Butler is. And he doesn't have to be, like the vocal leader or anything. Jimmy can still do that because Kawhi is kind of like Kawhi just wants to play. He don't really like all that attention and stuff like that. So I could see that. And even if it had to be with a sign and trade, if we had to give them Hero and Duncan, at this point, I'm done trying to say no. These guys are young. They're going to be something, which I still believe they are going to end up being good players, probably all-stars, right? But we ain't got time for that. I don't have time to sit through another series like we did this year, next year, or the year after that. We was just in the finals to get kicked out in the first round. Nah, I'm not. That ain't going down. Nah. So, yeah, at this point, like you said, if some pieces got to move, go get me a scorer. Go get me another star to put with Jimmy and Ben. But I don't got time to just sit around and wait on people to reach their potential or their ceiling. I ain't got time for that. I can't do it. Won't do it. Won't go through another season like this. So, I mean, any last thoughts for these Heats?
Pain. That's all I got.
Yeah, pain in my ass. That's pain, Jimmy. Terrible. My boy said he was stupidly locked in, huh? Yeah. We seen it. I seen how locked in you was. It wasn't for basketball. I don't know what you was talking about because it couldn't have been for the playoffs. Playoffs. Oh man, this guy. All right, so now that my rant is done, now that y'all have heard me, I got to vent a little bit. I'm done with it. Basketball season. Well, I can't say it's over for me because we still have this podcast, so it's not over for me.
It's coming to a close.
We're still gonna talk about basketball, but I'm saying as far as like my personal investments in basketball, as far as that part, that's dead now. So I'm just watching it from, not even. I'm not even saying I was watching it from biased eyes, watching the Heat, but just it's definitely there's no bias in it at this point.
Right.
Sure. There's nothing to root for, right?
Right.
But outside of that, any shout outs, anything else?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, with that being said, y'all have heard what we had to say. You can agree or you can disagree. But at the end of the day, all takes are valid. All right, Spence.
All right, bro.